Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your weekly readings for January the 17th to the 23rd, and this week we are going to be looking at the astrology that is occurring involving the full moon in Cancer in opposition to Pluto, the planet of sex, death and transformation. So stay tuned because we're going to look at that in depth in a second, and then we're going to go into the weekly forecasts and they will be time-stamped for each sign. So I'd love it if you stick with me for this, the cosmic messages around the planets, because that will give a broader context about what's happening with the weekly readings. So the full moon is occurring in Cancer at 27 degrees, which is opposing Pluto and the sun in Capricorn. This is huge because the moon is the traditional ruler of Cancer. The moon loves being in Cancer. So it's incredibly sensitive, intuitive, emotional time coming in. And it's wanting to bring in, it's a time when you might feel like being more at home. The sign of the moon, Cancer is the energy of wanting to come home, a place that's emotionally safe after a busy day. However, whether that's actually a real home or whether this is a place within yourself or a person that you feel like you can come home to. So those sort of themes, coming home and feeling safe emotionally, a place of comfort, a place where you can rest and rejuvenate. Those sort of energies are coming up around this full moon. But that's going to be in opposition to Pluto. And Pluto is the planet of transformation. And Pluto there's going to be this push-pull between these two energies because there's a part of you that wants to be in this lovely Cancerian space of feeling quite protected and safe, because it can make you feel vulnerable. This energy could be very highly emotional, like I said. And so it's kind of like, I just want to kind of put a little protective barrier around myself and find a place that I feel really safe. But Pluto's coming in and saying, wanting to open you up and saying, I've got something to show you. I've got something to tell you, and it comes with great power. Pluto is all about power and information, raw knowledge, and it reveals things that have been happening under the surface in the subconscious energy, or things that have even been in the past, buried in the past, or things that can be even to do with past lives. There's no judgment with Pluto. It's just quite simply, this is it, and I'm showing it to you. And they can be things that we don't necessarily want to see. There's a reason why we're like this, protecting ourselves, feeling nice and safe in our little corner. And we don't want to be going, I don't want to feel open to that. But what Pluto says to you is that you are a different person now to perhaps the last time that these energies were buried or hidden. And it's a very different time in history. And so it wants you to kind of look at it. So there's an opportunity to transform and transmute and heal those energies. It can run very, very deep. So this is where there's that sense of the push-pull between the two energies. And there is this amazing opportunity to heal and transform, but it does require courage. It does require courage of the heart and courage to kind of trust the process of where you're going. So it's kind of interesting because Cancer is around, it's around self-nourishing, self-nurturing. It can represent the mother. It's a very loving, compassionate energy. It can represent all those beautiful energies. How are you looking after yourself? Because Pluto and Capricorn can represent the outside world. It can represent a very masculine energy. It can represent father energy or authority figures, governments, what's happening in the outside world. And we do know that there's just so much turmoil happening at the moment. There's a lot for us to process and take in. And so it's kind of like, have you been looking after yourself in response to that external world and everything that's going on? So it's a very interesting energy, and this can also bring up, we've got a mother-father kind of dynamic here. It can bring up issues to do with your parents or to do with parenting and your childhoods as well. Things that occurred, things that you wanted to bury deep, and so things that you don't necessarily want to talk about. The inner child could be feeling very, very vulnerable at this time as well. So it's an interesting energy to come in. And what I would say is with this energy with Pluto is that some of the information that you are being shown might depending on where you're at with this, at first you might necessarily want to you might completely want to shut the door on it. You might go, no, I don't want to look at that. You might tentatively open it and go, perhaps I'll consider it. How it may not land particularly well at first when you see this information. For some of you, this could be a huge revelation. This could be a huge realization, revelation that could precipitate a huge transformation and healing. So you might actually welcome this and go, oh my goodness, I never realized that was what I was doing and why I was doing that. So, it can take a long time to process this because there is a deep transition and change that's coming through with this. So I would say it's an energy to sit with. It's also an energy where I think people either really want to be at home and not be particularly sociable, or they might want to go out and avoid things and just want to go out and party and do anything but. So it could go either way. I would say try not to plan too much at this time. There's a lot going on deep down and it may not necessarily make a lot of sense at first. I feel like it's an evolving journey, but there are so many rich gifts here within this process. The moon is the brightest when it's a full moon. It illuminates a lot of things. When the sun is conjunct Pluto, it's illuminating a lot of things that have been hidden and kept secret. So there's a lot of knowledge coming to you and it really is going to require, like I said, processing time. And the thing with the moon is it also can show you that wild, untamed part of yourself, the full moon, because there is always this sort of domesticated, conditioned part of ourselves that we mostly put out to the world. Not everybody, but mostly. And then it's coming back and connecting in with this raw energy inside of you, and then throw Pluto in the planet of sex, death, and transformation. And this is where there could be actually this very, very interesting, strong drive. You could, in terms of sexuality as well, like this could be like a very interesting and intense time for some of you, or around issues around that as well. And there's also, what was I getting around that? I just completely lost my flow talking about all of this sort of, because for some of you, like this can be like a very intense sexual attraction, but it can also bring up some deep fears around connection to your body, how you're looking after your body, and it can uncover some feelings. The Cancer is all about how you're feeling. The moon brings up these feelings. And so some of these feelings can feel overwhelming. These feelings that the Pluto can show can be things like shame and fear and all sorts of things like that can come up as well. But there's also the whole gamut of feelings. There's love, there's compassion. So it's kind of an interesting journey. It's an interesting ride. And so that's what's coming in. And whilst we're doing this, Mercury's in retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. So it's asking you to try some new things at this moment. Try out new ideas and maybe go back to some old ideas that you thought could have worked and previously you didn't really, for whatever reason, just didn't revisit it. So that might be happening as well. So with Mercury being really strong in the sign of Aquarius as well, Venus is retrograde as well. So there's a lot of energy of very deep internal divine feminine energy here about understanding what messages are coming in around loving yourself, loving your body, and how you're protecting, looking after yourself. So I'm going to take it over to the forecast for the 12 signs for the week. And these forecasts are for sun, moon, and rising. And your rising sign will be the most predominant. Your sun sign will be secondary, and your moon sign will be subjective. It will be more about how you're feeling. So if you don't know what they are, and I always recommend to watch all three to get the fuller picture of what's coming on for you. If you don't know what they are, I'll put a link in the description box below to a website where you can find all that stuff out. But you do need to know your birth sign. So let's take a look at that. So for Aries, this is happening in your 4th house. This is going to be affecting your 4th house and your 10th house, the house of home, the 4th house, the home, the areas that are really, really private to you, the quiet spaces that you retreat to, that feels very much like you need to come here as a haven to get away from the world. Plus also your career, your work, whatever it is that you do, public reputation, the 10th house. So this is where you're going to feel the push-pull between those two energies, and we're going to pull some cards coming in for you, Aries, around all of this. So let's pull some tarot. And this is where I'm kind of getting that there may be, if you take the time out, the space to sit very quietly and look at those things that you like to do at home, look at those things that bring you real great joy. And within that space, there's something, whether this is a message coming to you or whether this is something you can actually practically use out in your career, there's a sense of getting information and messages that you can use in terms of your work and career. So that feels really important for you, Aries. So in terms of your fire element, you've got the Chariot. So this is very much, I'm going to pull the 4 elements here. So we've got the 10 of Wands for air, we've got the Queen of Wands for water, and we've got the Hermit for earth. Okay, and at the base we've got the 2 of Swords. Yes, I would say that this is not a great time to be making a lot of decisions, big decisions here. And you might feel 2 ways about certain things. This is very much the push-pull. If you're trying to work out something to do with home-life balance, that might actually come up as well. Home-work balance, that might come up too. And that's why we're sort of seeing the Chariot, the 2 different, pulling those sphinxes going in the 2 different directions, trying to pull them together. This is what I feel like you're going to find yourself doing or being motivated to do to kind of overcome some kind of conflicted energy. Particularly, this is the card of Cancer as well, around the home, around, something's pulling you that way, something's pulling you this way, and you're trying to kind of steer it through your sheer sense of willpower into the direction that you want it to go into. So, yeah, I feel like this is, wanting to, it's a very strong emotional decision to kind of, or energy, sorry, an emotional pull to be wanting to, within the home space, I would say, but, in relation to home and career, very much I think you're trying to find some kind of balance with those energies. Now, in terms of the element of air, what you might find yourself thinking about, your thoughts or what people are potentially thinking about you. This is the 10 of Wands, and this is where I think you're trying to find ways to let go of something that's become heavy and burdensome here, where it's kind of like, where can I say no to something? Where have I taken on too many responsibilities? And so I feel like you're working out ideas around that, and that's very much connected with this Chariot energy of trying to pull these 2 energies together, because I feel like you've taken in either one of the arenas, whether it's home or your career, there's a sense of you've taken on too much, and maybe this is you've been working too hard, or so it may be that you're trying to find ways to there's a lot on your plate here, a lot inside your mind, and it's draining you, it's tiring you. So I think rejuvenation, find a way to kind of let go of some of that at this moment in time would be really great. Now, in terms of the element of water, love, relationships, how you're feeling, this can also be your intuition. You've got the Queen of Wands, which is actually a really nice energy and compatible energy for you because this is a Leo energy, another fire sign. This is about the divine feminine, about how you're feeling inside. And it's actually a very warm and generous energy. So you might even be thinking about a Leo, or you might have feelings about a Leo, or somebody that represents this Queen of Wands energy. It doesn't have to necessarily be a Leo, but it may be that there's a warmth here. Like I said, there's a warmth, there's a generosity. The Queen of Wands, this energy is very, and it's not gender specific. It's just, whoever this person is, they're very attractive, you find them very attractive. So I feel like there is somebody that you're kind of wanting, they're shining a light amidst some of this other energy that's here, which is kind of interesting because you have as your earth sign the Hermit energy. So somebody's kind of attracting you here, and it's providing the warmth and the light and helping you feel good. It's a feel good energy when some of these other energies are kind of challenging you at this moment. So it's a nice energy to come in with the Queen of Wands. This might be you. This might be you attracting a lot of people as well. So you can kind of always flip it and reverse it. In terms of the element of earth, it's kind of interesting. We said finding the light, looking for the light. So the element of earth is all about your material resources, what it is that you need. So it can be related to home, home, health, money, career, all that sort of stuff. And I often see a very strong connection with this one and the fire energy of career as well. And the hermit energy, again, that sense of looking for the light. Trying to find the light and some answers where it feels like there's this bigger energy around you that's not necessarily providing that at the moment, or it's giving you a whole heap of information that you kind of feel like it could feel oppressive. So you might feel a bit like not wanting to socialize with this energy, not wanting to, spending a bit of time alone. It can be a lonely energy. It can bring up feelings around loneliness. The hermit is around, it can be soul searching, looking for some answers, looking for, what it is that the path ahead, some kind of clarity of where something's going around the home. So the hermit energy might be that you're just either wanting distance or you're feeling that at this moment in time. And that might be something that you're wanting to kind of I feel like you're asking a lot of questions around that at this moment in time. So let's pull an animal spirit energy for you, Aries. Let's pull a message from the higher realms, a message from spirit for Aries. And what does Aries need to know from the higher divine octave realms at this moment in time? Oh, wow. Look what you got, Phoenix. Absolutely beautiful. And this is why I think that you are really being attracted to the fire, somebody that's kind of like a fire sign or fire energy, because this is your energy ultimately. And the Phoenix does represent that plutonic energy of transformation and change. Something is rising from the ashes. It quite literally is death and transformation, the Phoenix. And the thing is, it's the firebird. So it is a sense that something that was dead in the water or something that is in the process of transitioning deeply is about to rise again. And there's this kundalini rising energy and this sense of something really amazing is about to transform, especially in your own element, Aries, in the element of fire. So this is kind of interesting because we are seeing the shadow, and the shadow is something in the shadows is really beginning to transform and get you motivated and feeling like you're getting your mojo back and feeling really ignited and excited again. So that's really, really exciting. And yes, I think that your fortnightly reading, you might want to visit that as well, had a very similar message coming through for you. So that's it, Aries. Thank you so much for joining me and look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Taurus. So this energy of the full moon is occurring in your 3rd and 9th houses. So I think there's going to be a lot happening around the way you're talking to people. Your communication could be feeling a little bit quieter. You might be feeling a little bit like more defensive. There may be some things coming up around siblings or how you're kind of fitting into your community. And there may be a sense that we've got the 7 of Cups, interesting, coming through. The 4 of Wands. Yeah, maybe looking at how something within your community could be brought out into the external world. So we've got for your fire the 7 of Cups coming in. So this is where I think you're forming a vision. You're wanting to form a vision here about what it is. You might be this could be a vision board of what you're trying to put out, like in terms of a message of some sort. And so I'll just show you your cards quickly. You've got the 7 of Cups for fire. For air, you've got the 4 of Wands. Water, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, and for air, you've got the Earth, you've got the Knight of Swords. Okay, so for your motivation, your drive, what it is that you find yourself doing, you've got the 7 of Cups. So this is where you're looking at a whole heap of different options. But what I kind of get, this is kind of a visionary energy. It's a sense that you're kind of looking at what it is that you want to bring in here. It can be, you can be vision boarding. It can be idealistic, but it's a sense of what can I see in my community that I can put a message out there and see it out there further afield, see it having an effect to the wider world. So this is a sense that you could be feeling really, really inspired. This could be to do with where you're living, your neighbours. This could be to do with your siblings. There could be some kind of interesting idea that you've got that you're wanting to broadcast out to a bigger audience, like a different way of expressing yourself. So perhaps there's something you're thinking of publishing or putting out there. So I feel like there's a sense of really kind of creating a vision here that could be really interesting. Now, in terms of your element of air, the Four of Wands, what you're thinking about, your thoughts, the ideas that are going on, we've got the Four of Wands. So this could be very much to do with relationships around the home or relationships that are close to you at this moment in time, wanting to bring in some kind of harmony with that. So feeling pretty happy with that. This could also be thinking about where something has reached kind of like a halfway point where it feels like, but you're thinking of how you're going to move it forward after that. So this could be anything that's occurring in your life. But I do feel like this has got a lot to do with wanting to bring in more harmony. There could be some nice conversations that you might be having, new conversations, different conversations about things that you could be doing within your community or things that you could be putting out. So this is where you're kind of getting into this Seven of Cups, like you might meet someone down the street at the local shop and it's kind of like you have a conversation, then it's suddenly like come home and you're like, okay, what can I do with that? And so you've got this vision coming in. But yeah, the Four of Wands is a nice energy to be coming in. I feel like there's a lot of harmonious communication coming through and really like there's a nice synergy between people that are, really thinking about what it is that you want in your environment around you. So I think that that's actually a really nice energy and where you might be able to commit more to something. So that's also coming through. In terms of your element of water, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, beautiful Queen of Pentacles, sometimes a Taurus energy in this deck. This is a Capricorn energy and this is how you're feeling. This is or who you've got feelings for. This can be love and relationships. So this could be quite literally if you've got a Capricorn in your life or somebody who's another earth sign, so Taurus or Virgo as well. This is somebody that is very grounded. Your feelings are very grounded here. This is someone that is very nurturing, brings a lot of emotional stability. It's a very, very nice energy to come through with this Queen of Pentacles. And someone that this is an energy of making some very pragmatic and healthy decisions to do with home and heart and money, and health as well. So there may be someone around you. This is a really good energy. It's a grounded energy. And this is why I feel like there's some nice energies around you which allow you to dream. So sometimes with this full moon energy, and it's a very intense energy, it can take you out into these realms. But because the moon is exalted in your sign, Taurus, and the moon is actually going to be, this is an energy that I think you're going to be working with really positively. So it's lovely. And in terms of your element, the element of earth, you've got the Knight of Swords, which is actually the element of air it's a Gemini energy. So the element of earth is all around what material resources you need, your security. This full moon can bring up a lot of things to do with fears around security and stability and things like that. But I'm not feeling this for you guys. I'm feeling you feeling quite stable where you are, wanting to bring that in. And the Knight of Swords is a very fast moving energy. So something's happening quickly on those material resources realm where I feel like you're determined and wanting to take some quick action. So whether this is to do with your home, your health, your money, or your career line as well. And I would say there's a very strong determination as well. So it may have been that you've been very, very busy with something with this Knight of Swords. Sometimes this can be too much for the element of earth. Sometimes this can be like just can create a whole heap, like a dust storm kind of energy where it's like, what's happening here? But the Knight of Swords energy, I feel like, is kind of where your mind is kind of gone into overdrive with something here. Potentially you're thinking a lot about the direction that you're going in. You might be getting a lot of messages and thoughts around what you can be doing with these sort of things and coming in. And maybe you're going back over some stuff as well around money, career, health. So, yeah, I feel like there's a sense of perhaps wanting to readjust some things, but I would say the grounded energy would actually be working for you than going super fast with something. So we have beautiful frog coming in as the higher message coming in, the higher cosmic message from the universe. And this is all about replenishment, getting all of your material needs met. And this is frog, it's the element of water, and it doesn't just rain, it pours for frog. And that's exactly what frogs need to survive. And not even survive, but thrive. So it's a beautiful energy there of a lot of emotional healing coming to you, and this sense of healing around what it is that you truly need to feel stable and secure, to feel like you're thriving. So there's a lot of healing and messages around that, which is really lovely. Frogs themselves might even have a particular message for you, a spirit message for you. So that's a beautiful energy to come in, especially next to this Queen of Pentacles. And I would say that it kind of feels like with this Knight of Swords, it feels like there's a problem and I have to fix it quickly. And kind of what I'm getting is sit with this. You don't have to rush into anything. Sit with it and be open, because what it is that you need is going to be there within this energy. It's all about being open and present to it rather than having to try and fix some sort of problem. So, and with that, your vision is going to expand as well. So could be a highly intuitive time for you, Taurus. So that's it. Look forward to seeing you next time. So Gemini, this is going to be a particularly potent time for you guys, because this energy is affecting your second house, the house of money, and the eighth house, which is the house of transformation. It is the house that Pluto rules. So it's actually going to be a particularly transformative time, especially to do with anything to do with joint finances or money. So coming in, which could be really interesting. So let's pull. And it can be to do with your relationship with sexuality and your body. So yes, that could come in super strong. And it may be a time when you're wanting to safeguard your money in some way, a sense of, wanting to keep it safe. So let's pull some cards for what's coming in for you this week, Gemini. But there might actually also be some other options. I feel like there's a lot being revealed to you about your relationship to money, what you were taught about money. And I keep getting that even though you might be wanting to be like this with your money, if you can open up to healing some of those patterns of general underlying patterns around money and finances, that this could actually open you up to other options relating to that, and could actually transform some abundance blocks. So that's also interesting coming through for you, Gemini. So let's pull some cards and see what's coming in for Gemini. Just got to get some lovely Gemini energy into the cards. For the fire, you have the Magician, beautiful Gemini energy coming in. This is wanting to make plans, make things happen. It's creation, very highly creative time. For element of air, I couldn't remember what element I was in for a second. The element of air, your element, we have the Chariot. So you really it's a sense of wanting to sort something out. It's like determine, I've got this over here, I want to sort this out. So definitely could be related to those themes we're talking about. In terms of your love and relationships, the element of water, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, or how you're feeling intuitively. So there's a sense of looking at where you want to invest your time and energy, your in terms of a relationship that's coming in. There's a period of growth coming up around that. And in terms of the element of earth, we've got the 10 of swords. This is, your security, what it is that you need. So I feel like you're saying no to something or seeing that something is not working out, letting go of a belief or an idea about something. And we can see that that works in with what we were talking about, running deep, those energies around your relationship to money. So it's kind of interesting because we've got the Magician. So I feel like in your conscious mind, there's something that you're really wanting. This is the card of planning. How am I going to be doing things? How am I going to do this? What resources do I have around me? And I feel like you kind of something that perhaps you were using to do with home health or career and money, you kind of decide to say, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to use that anymore for whatever reason. So the Magician is kind of looking for other ways, other answers, being very creative about how this could work. What else could I use instead of that if that's not working out, or I've got a no or something hasn't worked out? So it can be very busy. It's actually a good energy for you guys, Gemini, I think, the Magician energy. And it's very innovative. It's very much, I'm trying to solve things, solve problems. And there's a lot of willpower about creating and making something here. So it actually feels really good. And right next to the Chariot card, this is all about an emotional pull and will as well to overcome something and to bring it into a success. So with that and the Magician energy, this is your thoughts, what you might be working on with the Chariot card. It's very much you're thinking about how to, the Sphinxes they speak in riddles. So it's almost like there's two sides here pulling at you, and neither of them fully make sense. And the way to understand them is not through necessarily the logical mind. You need to be really smart and clever here. That's kind of what I'm getting. You're finding a smart solution. Yes, it is in the logical mind, but it's kind of like you have to think a bit left field or something like that. So yeah, the Chariot card is very much conflicts ending in victory, and this is actually the card of Cancer. So this could also be something that's occurring around the home in terms of money flow around the home as well, or something occurring in your career. It could be either one or all. So we have as an element of water, how you're feeling, your intuition, but I feel like this is more about your love and relationships, and where you kind of with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like this is where you're planting a seed and wanting to see more growth. So you might be pretty happy with where a relationship's at this moment in time. It kind of feels like it's in a good place, but it's a sense of, or you might feel like that. If you do, there's a sense of this is feeling good. Where to next? Where do we want to plant those seeds? How much energy do I want to be putting into certain relationships and things that I love doing? And I think you're thinking, with the Pentacle energy, it feels quite pragmatic. It's kind of like you want to see some sort of concrete growth. So it might be like if you're in a relationship, maybe you're thinking of saving for a home, or maybe if you're single, you're thinking, okay, how much effort do I want to put into my friends? How much effort do I want to put into dating? How much effort do I want to put into my family? So that I'm getting this nice balance and feeling like things are evolving and growing. But it's kind of like at the end of the day, this could also be, how much effort you want to put into your work relationships to see some sort of growth. So it really is just a period of assessment and evaluation about where you're wanting to put a lot of your time and energy into certain relationships around you. And there's a lot, we're seeing that this is, definitely it's a nice energy because it does bring in growth. So we have as your element of Earth, which is your resources, your security, what it is that you need to survive. So it can be home, health, money, related to work and career as well, often a connection between this one and the Magician. And this is where you're letting go of an idea or a belief that just doesn't work. There's a no here. There's getting a no about something. And I feel like I feel like it hasn't actually set you back. If this is you getting a no, then you've gone into the Magician mode and Chariot mode of, okay, well, we can't use that. What can we use? And so, or what can we be doing if this isn't working out at this moment in time? This might be you saying no to something. So And also, yeah, again, it can relate to some very deep belief systems that are coming in here with this 10 of Swords. So there is a new dawn coming. The darkness is lifted and there's a sense of light being shone on a situation that previously might have been clouding or feeling a bit powerless in that sort of in terms of what you need to survive, to feel like you're stable. So I think that 10 of Swords is actually a good energy. I would just say that it always does need a little bit of time to kind of potentially move on from, but I feel like you've moved on really, really well and quickly with this. So let's pull some higher messages from Spirit coming in, some cosmic messages for Gemini. Goodness, we have the Moth. Beautiful. I just want to get these out for you. The element of air, your element Gemini, which is fantastic. So the Moth is all about connecting up to the light, being attracted to the light, those higher vibrational realms. And I'm feeling this with you actually, because I feel like you're sailing through this energy a fair bit. Other signs could have quite a deep impact. But even if you are getting those messages, I feel like it's like you're not just getting the messages and then it's kind of pulling you down into a different or a murkier energy. It's kind of like, okay, so what am I going to do about that? So the Moth energy is saying definitely something is ascending. There's an ascension energy here. Something is rising up, and it could actually be that your entire frequency is reaching a higher vibration, which is actually really nice because that's what I'm getting here, a sense of rising up. So into potentially some kind of awakening ascension energy as well with this Moth. So very beautiful energy to come through for you, Gemini. And it's kind of saying if you are getting stuck in some of those lower vibrational energies where you're feeling just a bit, you're feeling a bit down or murky or just feeling stuck in any way, rise up to that beautiful light, the higher vibrations, because with this Magician energy, this is where anything can happen. This is where the natural frequency of miracles could occur. So it's actually really amazing. And I think you're going to come up with some really high intuitive downloads that can be brilliant solutions, whether they're fully formed at this stage, but it's kind of like a big chunk of it comes in and then it's sort of like, oh, okay, now it's like a base comes in and then it's up to you to kind of play with it and work out what works from there. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for you, Gemini. So thanks so much for joining me and look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Cancer. So this energy is affecting your 1st and 7th house. The 1st house, all about you, your identity, your consciousness. 7th house, all about relationships. So this is where I think that how you see yourself reflected back in other people and your sense of creating a boundary around your own emotions, your own self-identity versus somebody else's, whether this is a relationship or just other people in general, and where you feel safe opening up to other people or just the world. So it's kind of an interesting energy coming in. Let's see, we have quite a few cards coming in. So for the element of fire, you have the Fool. Lots of new stuff coming in. The element of air, you've got the Knight of Swords. It could be your mind could be on overdrive here. The element of water, you've got the 6 of Wands. And so for the element of earth, you've got quite a few coming in. You've got the 10 of Cups, the 4 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles. Whew. Look at all those pentacles coming in. Okay, so there's a major boost happening on that line as well. So, and again, a lot of this is to do with work and career, how you feel stable, how you feel secure. So where you're finding those security and stability and how you find that within yourself or within other people. So that's coming through here as well. And just at the base, we have the 10 of Wands. So it is around letting go of energies that have become heavy or burdensome or that you've taken on too much of somebody else's energy or said yes to somebody or, definitely taken on some kind of responsibility that maybe not yours. It might be somebody else's. So the element of fire, we've got press the reset button. We've got the Fool, and the Fool wants to travel light. Doesn't want to be traveling with this energy, which feels like heavy baggage. So this is where I feel like, the element of fire is all around, what you're initiating or what's motivating you or what you're doing at this moment. So I feel like you're probably going to want to initiate something new that's going to help you release some kind of burden so that you can step into something new and feel lighter. So, and this could be a risk. It can be looking at personal risks, where you feel safe, how you can, whether you're happy to do that on your own terms, or whether you want somebody to be there by your side. So the Fool energy is very interesting, and I feel like it's a sense of getting some clear messages about wanting to step into something new. So you might find yourself starting something new or doing something new or wanting to do something new, which is actually really nice energy. So in terms of the element of air, you've got the Knight of Swords, which is a Gemini energy. It's the element of air itself. So this is very much for the Gemini energy. There could be people wanting to chat, have conversations. They might just be quick, very quick, fleeting conversations, but it's kind of like, whoa, what was that? What was that all about? They'll come in like kind of like a storm, like a tornado, like, and then they've gone, and you're kind of like, oh, okay. So this could be you. I feel like or other people around you. There's very quick, there's a lot of ideas coming through super, super fast, formulating quickly. And so there's a lot going on. This is like the fastest moving energy in the deck. So with this and the air moving super, super fast. The only thing I would say with this is that it could be that your mind goes into overdrive with this. So it might just be careful to make sure that you spend some time out to take a break, because there could just be a lot going on there. You could be thinking about a lot of things. You might even be thinking about making some very quick, fast changes, or might be thinking about an air sign, a Gemini or someone. There's determination that's coming through with this, which is so there's a lot going on inside that mind, and you might be kind of trying to break through with this Fool energy. How can I be doing this? How can blah, 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 blah. Your mind might be really trying to make sense of this, of stepping into something new, a new energy that's coming through here. So in terms of love and relationships, this is the element of water, how you're feeling. You might not be feeling so good with the Six of Wands reverse. This could be... the Six of Wands represents, you might be wanting to hide some of your emotions. So the Six of Wands is about being seen, being victorious, feeling really successful. And when it's reversed, I'm feeling like it's kind of like you want to hide. You don't want your feelings to be seen. You want to feel safe. You want to be like, I don't want anybody to really know how I'm feeling here. I don't want it to be out in the world and everybody going, oh, that's how you're feeling today. So I feel like that, again, there's this sense of wanting to put a bit of a barrier around and keep those feelings inner, and not really wanting to show them, and not particularly wanting to be very expressive. There's probably a lot going on inside of you, but I don't feel like you're not necessarily wanting to share it at this moment in time. So, interesting energy to come through. And that's pretty normal with this energy. There may be an unsuccessful relationship that comes up here, something that just didn't work out. So there may be some things that are coming up around that. And we're talking about how deeply transformative some of these feelings and energies are. And Pluto is wanting to have, it's an elliptical orbit that Pluto has. So it does bring things around to you that occurred in the past, but it's not in a particularly linear way. So it's kind of like, are we revisiting that again? Or is that energy come back? That didn't work out. And for whatever reason, revisiting that. And because Pluto is saying this is what's still here in your emotional body, and what do you want to do about it? And so, some of that might be looking at relationships that weren't successful. So, and again, that can make you feel like you want to feel a bit more vulnerable. But I do feel like there's transformation around that, which can be really nice. So your element of earth, look at all this earth coming in here. Look at all of this and the 10 of Cups, which is really nice. You know, the 10 of Cups is feeling pretty happy. I feel like I can't hold all of these up at once. So the 10 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles, yeah, definitely you might be happy to be staying at home at this moment. It might feel like a solid base. So for some of you, you might even be working from home, or you might be wanting to work from home. It's actually, you know, all your needs are being met here with the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Like in terms of work and money, this is really good energy. So the Eight of Pentacles represents work, and the King of Pentacles represents some kind of institution or something where your needs are being provided and met. So it's a sense of perhaps wanting to hold on to that at this moment in time because it feels stable and secure, and feeling happy about doing that at this moment in time, because not wanting to make any big changes on that realm and kind of just going, I'm fine, I'm good as it is at this moment in time. You don't want to be pushed out of a comfort zone with that. So, but it does feel kind of quite nice and grounded, and a place that you will want to be coming home to. So I do feel like if that's not how you're feeling, that is something that you really need to kind of make a priority here at this moment in time. So, and it may be that you're thinking of saving some money, thinking of saving money for something. So, beautiful. So the message from the higher realms, the spirit message coming through for you is the Deer energy. And I always think of this as Cancerian energy, even though it's an element of earth here. It's always around love, unconditional love, this Deer energy. It's kind of like the doe-eyed deer. Somebody's looking at you with love, or you're receiving a lot of love from the universe. So this is the energy the universe is wanting you to connect into. Your beautiful energy of compassion, nurturing, love, unconditional love, and really, really tuning into that energy. And when you might be feeling, I'm going to put it right underneath the Six of Wands, when you might be feeling a little bit like, oh, you know, this relationship didn't work out, or relationships don't work out in general. Perhaps that's what you're thinking. This is where the universe is wanting you to see how beautiful you are and bring you in this beautiful unconditional love for you. So there's a safe space from spirit for you to look at some of these energies that Pluto's bringing in. So that's it, Cancer. Please take care, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, my beautiful Leos. So this energy is occurring in your 12th and 6th house of the full moon. So the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, or things that Pluto is going to be really having a field day here with this. 6th house is about work, your health, daily routines. So you might be getting a sense that you're really wanting to be making some changes in those areas at this moment in time, but it is taking you deep within to see what it is that you truly need on those areas. And that's actually not a bad thing. It's an interesting journey into the subconscious about what it is that you, particularly things that you could be letting go of. It could be looking at some deep-seated beliefs, some old habits that can be transformed. It can be all sorts of things, related to where you may have been hurt. It can be looking over some old wounds as well. So yes, and this is really, like I said, this energy of showing you a place where perhaps you're not feeling that emotionally safe because you've been hurt before, and then saying there can be a transformation and healing of this with this beautiful wound here. And it could be around, this is in your element. This is the element of fire, the card for the element of fire that's come out with the Three of Swords. So this is very much, I'm just going to pull the other ones quickly so I don't get distracted. Magician at the base. So the Three of Swords, this is very much where it could have been that you got burnt, quite literally, or you were putting an idea forward, or you were trying to shine in the world and it got squashed somehow. This is where the fire got put out. You might have been really hurt emotionally by someone. Maybe they didn't see you. Maybe you didn't feel emotionally safe with them. Maybe this is around something that wasn't successful as well. So I feel like, this is kind of, again, taking you into that subconscious realm, but it's showing you this. It's showing you how, we get hurt and then we kind of put it into our subconscious, and then that somehow dictates how we behave or think in the world, and can whether we're aware of it or not. And so Pluto's showing us exactly how that's happening. So that's why you can go, okay, right, I can actually really if I can transform this and heal this, I can actually do something really practical with this in terms of, what I'm doing with my daily routines, my health, and just my daily work. So there's actually, a really positive energy, and that's kind of why we're seeing the Magician here. This is kind of like, how are we going to do this? Making things work for you, being really smart about some stuff here. So in terms of the element of air, you've got the Lovers card. This is what you're thinking about, or, some ideas you're thinking on. And it could be that you're seeing a few choices, or a big choice in front of you in particular that needs to be made perhaps around these issues. Now, this could be also that you've been thinking about a relationship in particular, a soulmate energy here. And kind of, I do feel like this is something from the past, that an energy that has been very stuck, an energy that kind of almost, like it wounded you and got stuck in the mud kind of energy. It's very sticky is how I'm feeling. So I do feel like this is, for a lot of you, a past energy with the Lovers card, but this could be reflected upon somebody that's in front of you at this moment. So again, if you're in a relationship with somebody and living with somebody, you might be looking at how those daily routines are playing out. If you're single, you might be looking at how you're attracting people and what sort of relationship patterns are coming out for you. So, and, it will be giving you might feel a little bit vulnerable and sensitive about all of this, Leo. So that could definitely happen. And, but I do feel like, ultimately, even though this is taking you into places that you may not necessarily want to go, it can actually have a really positive effect. We have in the element of water, how you're feeling, your intuition, who your love and relationships. We've got the 8 of Cups. So we can see the big full moon there, the moon in this card, which is definitely actually, just while I got that, this is what I also got for this, is that you're also going to be perhaps thinking about what makes you happy in relationships as well. Who's around you that makes you feel good? So it's not necessarily all like, going deep and dark. It's kind of like, I don't want to be attracting that same sort of person or putting myself in that same sort of position that just is hurting me constantly. I want to be around energies that help make me feel good, and I can see really clearly that is the case. So that's coming in as well. And we also have the 8 of Cups. Okay, so this is letting go in terms of love and relationships. You could be getting some very highly intuitive messages coming in around this moon, around letting go of a feeling that has not been fulfilling you, detaching from that, letting go of some sort of emotional energy that is just, it's time to let it go, is time to release it, is what I'm getting. So it's moving on. We can see that the figure in the 8 of Cups is walking away, because no matter how much you might have been looking or searching, you never found that extra cup that was there. There was always something missing. And it's kind of like realizing that in the energy as it is present at this moment in time, you're not going to find that sense of fulfillment. So you need to move on from this and go looking. There's a sense of searching for more fulfillment here. And this is not necessarily a bad thing, because I'm seeing some really positive relationships around you. So it's a sense of, if you're looking for that fulfillment, look at what you can see in front of you in terms of who's around, particularly to do with your daily routines and work as well. But relationships that are healthy for you, healthy for your heart. So in terms of the element of earth, which is your money, your body, your career, it's your sense of security, what it is that you need in this world. We've got the Devil, and that's actually a real Capricorn energy, and we're seeing that Pluto is in Capricorn. So this, and the Sun is also in Capricorn, your ruler. So this is where you're getting a lot of very, very clear messages around this. And This devil energy is where you can be feeling really, really stuck with something. So whether you're stuck with where you're at with your health, whether you're stuck with where you're at in terms of where you're going career-wise, if you're stuck in something to do with a relationship around the home or where you're living, it just kind of feels like there's something that potentially could be quite toxic here. So this is a great time to even think about doing some kind of detox, like health detox as well, or energy detox and cleanse. So it feels like there's a lot that wants to be flushed out here, Leo. So the devil energy is also where it can relate to ambition. It can relate to that. But I feel like it does. Yes, it can relate to, I'm kind of getting with this Three of Swords that it's kind of where something didn't work out. You didn't get the result that you wanted, or there was a sense of it was, yeah. And so that's kind of, it's like I won't try doing that again because it didn't work out. But this is kind of saying, well, maybe there is something you can try again and give, it's different this time around. And so it's a sense of wanting to get yourself out of this. This can also be, looking at old patterns that haven't been healthy around money. So it can relate to debt or just just the way that you're kind of even responding and relating to money, and also to do with your health as well. So the devil energy, it is that energy of showing you something within the unconscious that has been hurting you. And I don't think it's necessarily bad, because this magician energy here has come up and said, right, Leo's stuck in a certain area. How am I going to release them from these bonds and chains that the devil has in them? It can be staying in a place for too long, or you have stayed in a place for too long, and it's time to move on because of the Eight of Cups. You're getting a message, and there's a big choice here. And the Three of Swords is saying that the longer you stay in this energy, the more it's going to keep hurting you. So, yeah, interesting with this. And it may even look back at the past energies where you stayed in something for too long, like a job for too long, or you stayed in a home that didn't work for you. And it's kind of coming in and dredging up some of those feelings and memories, things that were said, dynamics, things that happened, and kind of saying there's things that are kind of, I'm getting things that are kind of just on the surface that are ready to kind of be cleared up and out, to clear the water is kind of what I'm getting, the emotion. So the magician energy is really good, because that is really a sense of how we're going to do all this, making some plans, making some clever plans, maybe thinking about things very differently as well. There's too many cards there for you, Leo. And but we have the hawk. Beautiful. So this is the higher message coming in for you, the message from spirit. And we have the hawk, and this is the element of air. And the hawk is always around gaining a higher perspective about what's going on in your material world. And so it's that sense of seeing details and pinpointing details and going, that there in my daily routine or my life or my work, I see that. That's working. That isn't. So you're going to see some details very, very clearly here, and it's a sense of having an overview, and it gives you the understanding and the higher perspective to be able to work out what's working and what isn't, and make some very specific changes. It might just be something really small, but it could actually be like something that's just kind of breaking the pattern or routine or the balance that's occurring here. So that's actually a really fantastic energy with the hawk, and it's seeing very, very clearly these things. So this is where you're being shown that so clearly, and you could make those little adjustments that are coming in, and things can start working so much better. So that's it, Leo. Thanks for joining me. Look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Virgo. So this energy of the full moon and Pluto is occurring in your 11th and 5th houses. 5th house of pleasure, fun, enjoyment, can relate to children as well. So yeah, all the things that you like to play and have fun doing. The 11th house is where you could be making money from your business in the external world. It's also society in general, the world out there, relationships to do with things like that, social media and stuff like that. So let's see. Let's pull some cards coming in for you, Virgo, to do with this upcoming week for Virgo. I just want to shuffle one more time. So This is where you might be looking at hobbies and interests and how perhaps you could be making money out of that, or how you could perhaps be joining a group that's further afield and looking and connecting to a broader audience. We've got Ace of Swords for your fire. Fantastic. We've got the King of Pentacles for air. We've got the Sun. Nice. Coming in. You've got a great reading so far, Virgo, coming in for the element of water, and the Five of Pentacles for the element of earth. And at the base, we've got the Strength card. Wow. Okay. Overall, really fantastic reading. So in terms of element of fire, what you're activating, what it is that you're wanting to do, what it is that's igniting that passion, or what it is that you find yourself doing. We're seeing the Ace of Swords. So a lot of new ideas coming in here that you're kind of working on, activating, wanting to bring in. So the Ace of Swords brings a lot of clarity. It's like, I feel like you might be sorting through a whole heap of them, sorting through a whole heap of stuff or information, and just making sense of it and prioritizing it, what works for you, what feels right, what feels true. So the Ace of Swords can also represent new contracts coming in. So this could be something that's maybe you're wanting to bring in, or something you're working on at this moment in time. And so, yeah, this is something that's definitely coming in. The Ace of Swords is a fantastic energy. It definitely feels like this is Mercury in Aquarius, just going over a whole heap of stuff inside your mind, very clear head. And the other thing with the Ace of Swords is this can be trying to work out what's aligned to you and what isn't. And also it could be a sense of, I just keep getting a stack of paperwork and sorting through it. So a stack of ideas, a stack of information, a lot of analyzing, sorting. It's quite a practical way of dealing with everything that's going on inside of your mind. It can be a sense of like cutting ties with things, energetic ties with the Ace of Swords. And it's very logical. It's very like yes, no kind of energy. So I would say the Ace of Swords is you're getting very much a definite yes for something. There's something very new and exciting that you're working on here, and that feels really great in terms of the element of, or something you're wanting to bring in terms of the element of fire. So the element of water, you've got the King of the element of air, you've got the King of Pentacles. So this is what you're thinking about, who you're thinking about, some of the ideas you're working on. We can see there's a lot of new ideas here. This could definitely be to do with money, resources, whatever it is that you need. It could be to do with a business. So the King of Pentacles is a real Taurus kind of energy. It can be very sensual, very connected to your body. It could be somebody that could be a Taurus coming in. So, or somebody that's very like that, with these Taurian qualities of there's a lovely presence to them. It's actually very nice, this King of Pentacles, but it's somebody that's potentially could be quite well off, somebody that kind of could have some money, somebody that could be fairly established or successful in whatever it is that they do as well. So, and this might be something that you're wanting to bring in, or something that you're thinking about here, because it can represent established and successful businesses. It can represent banks. So you might be dealing with contracts with money and things like that. So this is what this King of Pentacles, I feel like you're getting organized. So it could be bookkeeping of some sort here for some of you coming in, but I do feel like it's a sense that it's a very grounded energy, the King of Pentacles. If this is somebody that you're thinking about, this could be like a boss energy as well. But I do feel like it's about managing resources and money ultimately, and what it is that you need. So that's kind of, and sorting that out. And there could be some new things that you're kind of bringing in, or some new ideas you're bringing to the table here that you haven't thought of before. So in terms of the element of water, which is your intuition, which is how you're feeling, your love and relationships, who you're feeling, who you're thinking about or have feelings for, is what I'm trying to say, Virgo. We've got the Sun. So this is actually a really lovely energy to come out for you. It could represent that there's breakthroughs coming in. It's very happy, very, very happy. You've got two cards of clarity and of the Ace of Swords and the Sun. So I feel like you're seeing things very, very clearly. And yeah, there's a a relationship that could be coming in, particularly to do with your inner child. We're talking about the fifth house of, how you're feeling. And this is wanting to bring in that joy, that happiness, that energy coming through. If you have children, spend some time with them. If you are wanting to bring in children, this is a time where there could be some interesting breakthroughs around that. But this could also be your inner child being very happy. So listen to what your inner child is saying, and it will want to play. It might even be that you might want to get out into the sunshine if that's possible for some of you. But in terms of an understanding or particular relationships, there's breakthroughs and happiness coming in, which is really lovely energy. It feels like the sun is shining on you at this moment, Virgo, which is actually really nice. So it could also be it's a Leo energy, the sun. So it might also be that you are having some sort of breakthrough with a relationship with a Leo, or maybe you're just kind of happy with your relationship with somebody who's Leo-ish, got that Leo. It could quite literally be a Leo, or it could be like a Leo kind of quality person that is very kind of expressive and generous. So you might be feeling a bit like that yourself. So it could be, I just feel there's happiness around that, happiness in the relationship line, and which is actually really lovely. So in terms of the earth energy, which is your energy here, Virgo, we've got the Five of Pentacles. So this is where you're looking at what it is that you need. And so what this, on a resource level, so in relationship to money, home, health, career, all that sort of stuff. And what I'm kind of getting here for a lot of you is a lot of what this energy is bringing up with the Capricorn Cancer kind of opposition and the Pluto Moon opposition coming in here. And we've got the sun as well. So it's showing you some things really clearly. I think, with the sun here in your relationship line and Pluto's conjunct the sun, it's probably showing you that, or showing you something that helps you release from a relationship. It helps you find the joy. So if there's anything that's been underlying or anything that needed to be healed or let go of, it helps that. But actually, I feel like for a lot of you, it's showing you that you've already moved on, and that can bring a lot of happiness and clarity, because it's kind of like, I just did that and I didn't think about that person once, or I didn't think about that energy that once, and now I feel like I can move forward and not feel like that a certain emotional energy has power over me anymore, which is nice. So this is why it's interesting, the Five of Pentacles, this dynamic between the Capricorn Cancer energy that's coming up is going to trigger security fears. It's going to trigger stability fears. And we're seeing this here with the Five of Pentacles. This is where you could be worrying about that sort of stuff, worrying about your health, or worrying about somebody else's health, or worrying about your money and your stability. So this is why I think with the Ace of Swords, it's a sense of you've got so many other good cards around it. I would say it's just bringing up some fears around that. And in a way that could be, whether they're real or not, that's something you're going to have to work out. But if it is something that needs adjustment, there's a lot of the energy here, the clarity here to be able to really work on that as well if you needed to. But I would kind of say that's just bringing up that underlying sense of uncertainty that maybe something isn't right. But I would say just let the energy play out and wait for that moon energy to pass, and then you'll kind of get a real sense of whether that was just the fears being brought up or whether it was really something that you can activate and work on here. So, we have the Strength card at the base, another Leo energy. So you've got a lot of Leo around you, and this is actually Virgo meets Leo. So it's where there's a lot of courage here coming in, and there's a sense of perhaps shutting the door softly on something. And the other thing that Pluto does is it quite literally, it's powerful energy. It is around connecting into your own inner power. And some of the things that actually stop you from doing that is your own pride, your ego. And that can be not only the things that it can be the voices that tell you you're not good enough about something. And so you can be looking at that as well. But somebody's pride and ego is being tamed here. So interesting. So we have the vulture energy. This is the energy of clearing up clearing up and clearing out, like we were saying with the Ace of Swords. And this is very much, the vulture feeds off the bones of the dead and clears out the dead, so that therefore, and this is very Plutonian energy coming in. So it's a sense of clearing and releasing and cleaning up a whole heap of stuff here. And I feel like there's a lot that's already happened. That's the thing. I think Pluto's showing you how much you've already done, and that if there's any remnants left on those bones that need to be cleared up, there's not a lot left. And so you might actually just be this is where you are sorting out through what's true and what's not, and what's real and what's not with the Ace of Swords. But I feel like, this is a karmic cleanse of some sort with this vulture energy. So you're going to feel a lot lighter as well. So quite literally, you might feel like cleaning or clearing stuff up and out. And this is where you might be, if you're looking at your health, you might be wanting to go on some kind of physical detox as well, or just kind of going back over some old energies and going, I don't need that anymore. Throwing stuff out. So, but the vulture energy, it's got power. It does relate to soul, deep down recesses inside your soul, and clearing out that stuff that Pluto really wants you to release and transform, those things that have been in the underworlds that are ready. And so they're ready to transform and heal. And so I feel like wherever it's the element of air, actually, the vulture. So put this next to the Ace of Swords, which is also the element of air. Whatever messages you're getting, or, a sense of, I want to be doing this. You just wake up and like, I want to clear out my drawers, or I want to sort out my ideas, and however this may be, how's this narrative working for me? Whatever is coming to you, this is actually really good energy, and I would go with that. There's a sense of revising, reevaluating, editing, all that sort of stuff coming through, and allowing yourself to clear out. So that's, I think it's going to bring a lot of happiness, Virgo. So that's it. Thanks for joining me, and look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Libra. So this energy is happening in your 10th and 4th houses. So yes, this is the house of home. The 4th house is the house of home, and the 10th house is the house of career and public reputation. So this is where you might be feeling a bit sensitive about how people are perceiving you, or thinking about you in terms of your work and your career, how people are evaluating you. It may bring up some old fears around that, and it may be a sense of wanting to kind of find a place that you feel at home and safe, that is in the external world, not necessarily within yourself. So that's kind of interesting coming in. And I feel like for some of you, if you're working from home, you might be thinking, I would want to not work from home. If you're not working from home, you might be thinking, I do want to work more from home. So there might be that push-pull divide, and there could be opportunities coming up around that as well. So 7 of Cups, there you can be vision boarding as well. There's a vision that's growing here, or something that you're kind of working on. The Magician energy, yes, you're definitely working on it. The Ace of Swords, a lot of clarity coming in. And the Sun, fantastic energy coming through. And at the base, the 8 of Pentacles, definitely doing a lot to do with your work. Your work and career, there's some very exciting things coming in here. It's really good energy coming through for you, Libra, actually. So in terms of your fire element, you've got the 7 of Cups. So this is where you're dreaming. You're dreaming big, or you're envisioning something. There's something that you're kind of working on, and you're thinking, how is this looking? What do I want it to look like? And so you're looking at a whole heap of different options. Some of them will be, a little bit unrealistic, but some of them could actually really work. And so you're forming what it is that you're wanting in terms of your career. And so this is such a positive time to manifest something that you want in your career at this moment in time. Use that power, because that, it doesn't always come in. And so that's why in your element of air, the element of what you're thinking about, your thoughts, plans, ideas, we've got the Magician, which is a really fantastic energy to come in. It can be very Gemini-like energy. So there can be a lot of talking, discussions, a lot of conversations happening around how things can be working. You know, this is very much, you've got the vision here with the Seven of Cups, and now you've got the Magician going, how is this going to work? You know, what have I got around me? What resources do I have around me that I can be really perhaps being very creative with? For some of you, that I can make my vision here a reality. So again, the Magician energy, very strong manifestation. It's this sense of, I feel like there's something new here that you're working on, that you're kind of getting excited about, wanting to bring into a reality. So very exciting. And in terms of your emotional world, the element of water, who you're thinking of, not thinking. I just got distracted by the element of air with the Ace of Swords. How you're feeling about somebody, your love and relationships. It can also be your intuition. Your intuition is razor sharp at this moment in time. So you're getting some very, very clear ideas. Now, not all of them, like I said, are going to be something that could actually really happen, but you're getting some very, very clear ideas about how to speak, how to communicate, how to say the right thing at the right time. So the Ace of Swords could be quite literally that you're thinking about yourself here, very much about what it is that you need. But you can also be thinking of, we could be, the Ace of Swords brings clarity about the way you're feeling about something as well. So, or how you're feeling about someone. So I feel like you're getting a very definite yes here. I feel like there's a very definite yes, and you actually have to say that as well, whether this is out loud or to yourself in the universe. It's like you're saying yes to something, which is on an emotional level, I think, going to bring a lot of happiness. It could represent a new contract. So this could even be like things like proposals coming in for some of you. But emotionally, super, super clear. A lot of new thoughts about how you're feeling as well. A lot of clarity around that. And this feels really good with the Ace of Swords coming in. It's a sense of claiming something and saying yes to it. So that feels really good. And I think that if there is a sense of, if there's relationships you've been working on, there's truth coming in. The truth and clarity is coming in. So that's really important as well. So in terms of your your resources, the element of earth, we have, this is to do with your work, your career, your money, your home, and your health. This is super happy breakthroughs coming in. Fantastic. And this is where I think you could be manifesting something really fantastic in terms of those elements, particularly to do with money and career, I would say. But, we've got the home element, and we were saying this is happening on your home and your career line, and we can see how happy this is going to be. There's clarity, happiness, breakthroughs. Both of these cards are the cards of clarity and happiness. The Sun is conjunct Pluto at this moment in time. So whatever Pluto is bringing to you and showing you, whatever it's revealing to you, whatever innate power it is connecting you to within yourself, there's a sense of, I feel like you're just running with this and going boom. So much happiness and clarity that comes through with that it just brings that amazing breakthrough. So definitely with the Eight of Pentacles around work. So definitely things to do with that around work, which is fantastic. So, very exciting. Very, very, I feel like there's a real sense of just a whole heap of energized energy coming into your career and work line, and it's just feeling so good. So you could be feeling really inspired. So interesting. As a higher message for you, Libra, coming through, little message from Spirit, we've got Stingray. And I love Stingray because Stingray, it's element of water. He always looks cheeky and happy, and this is because his chakras are aligned. So any kind of chakra alignment that you can do, there's heaps of stuff out there on YouTube, like meditations, that could actually be really good. And the Stingray is all about having the confidence to do things on your own terms, like feeling like you're being supported. Feeling like you're really being supported, which brings happiness, supported from the universe here, which is really, really nice. So this may be, it's not necessarily an energy that is going to be, a long-term energy. This is just an energy that is going to come in and you're going to feel really good for a while. And then, the Stingray energy is not necessarily saying, I just got short-term energy with this, Libra. So make the most of this, because this is something, there's still work to be done with this. This is just an initial like, oh, wow, happy. And then it's kind of like, okay. And then how are we going to work with this after that? But the stingray, yeah, beautiful energy. It is around your spine as well. So I think that anybody that's dealing with any kind of back troubles, this is a great time to be doing anything around that to help with that. So I feel like there's an alignment of the spine, and yeah, that feels really good. So that's it, Libra. Thanks for joining me, and look forward to seeing you next time. Scorpio, so these energies of the full moon and Pluto are affecting you in the 9th and the 3rd houses. And this is where I feel like you'll be wanting to look at, there's a push-pull between freedom and travel and being open to learning new stuff, versus some responsibilities around your community or around your home or the general area around you. It could be related to family and siblings as well. So there's responsibilities here, but there's a very, very strong desire for freedom. So this might be the time where you want to book that international flight and or just definitely could be a time where you are thinking about publishing some stuff as well, putting some things out there. So it could be a very inspirational time if you're doing anything like writing or anything creative like that. So, but yes, there still is this thing of responsibility to those around you. So let's see what's coming in for Scorpio. We've got the 5 of Swords. So there could be some conflict around what it is that you want versus what somebody else wants here. So that's kind of coming in terms of the element of fire with the 5 of Swords. I'll just pull the rest of your cards out and then we'll have a look at it. The Star, beautiful. Okay, yeah, your mind is alight here. The 2 of Pentacles again, and the 6 of Wands, fantastic. Okay. And at the base, we've got the Tower. Wow. Okay. Some amazing flashes of insight coming in for you here, Scorpio. Really amazing, I would say. Sudden realizations, unexpected revelations coming in. And I think it's kind of very interesting. So we've got the 5 of Swords in terms of your element of fire, which is what you're activating or what you're wanting to do, and what it is that you might find yourself doing, any sort of goals. And the 5 of Swords does represent some sort of mental conflict here. So I feel like you're feeling very strongly this push-pull, because it might be, like I said, you want something that is, you want to be doing something, but there's some sort of sense of responsibility that is coming in. So this could be, I want to go to Italy and learn Italian, or something to do with foreign cultures that could be coming in here with the 5 of Swords. And if you manage to communicate that to somebody, they might go, you can't do that. You've got to stay here. Or you don't have the time to do that. Or this could just be conflicted inside your mind. So I feel like with Mercury in Aquarius at the moment, you're wanting to kind of think there's new plans, new ideas that you're wanting to bring in, and it might actually be going back to old times of things that you did in the past and actually wanting to bring it forward again. So I would say, yeah, just be aware of that push-pull. The Tower energy is kind of freeing you from something. It's Uranus coming in super strong, going, I want freedom for my Scorpios. So, and this is where you're going to be conflicted around like I said, responsibilities. So in terms of the element of air, you've got the Star card. So this is what you're thinking, how you're thinking, or who you might be thinking about. The Star card is the card of Aquarius. Perhaps there's an Aquarius around, but it's very much future forward thinking here with the Star. There's hope being restored here. There's a sense that you might be thinking about where future plans coming in, and it's kind of like I need to also replenish my soul and spirit here with something that kind of is of like a higher mind here, something that kind of fulfills me on a higher level. So it's kind of feeling like you're wanting to open yourself up further afield and to be very, very strongly guided. With this in the Tower card, I feel like there is a sense that you are being very, very strongly guided, and it's just that there are potential obstacles that come in your way, which can be frustrating. But the Star card is a beautiful energy to be coming in, and it really is about replenishing and going deep within your soul to bring in some healing around something. And it could be healing around the Five of Swords, which there could have been some kind of fallout or some sort of conflict and fallout. Perhaps there's been a fight or an argument with somebody and wanting to bring in that. So, and this could be people that actually either are living near you, or it's somebody that's kind of very distant. So yeah, we've got in your element of water, we've got the Two of Pentacles. Now, this is how you're feeling, or this is, love and relationships. We can see that you're kind of being pushed and pulled in two different directions. And that's kind of what we're getting here. There's a sense of the old and the new pushing and pulling you here. So it can bring a little bit of emotional, a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I mean, this is because Pluto's coming in super strong, and it's kind of, this is your ruling planet here, Scorpio. So it's wanting to transform, your world in a lot of ways, and how you're responding to your world, how you're communicating, how you're feeling about your world, and how you kind of really define your personal freedom as well. So this is where, the Two of Pentacles is finding that delicate balance between, things like restrictions around travel could be coming up, or things like how you're expressing yourself in the world could be coming up as well. So it could be that you're kind of going back and forth over, it's finding a delicate balance within a relationship as well. Somebody else's needs versus your needs coming in. And the Two of Pentacles might be that you're not sure, you're ambivalent about somebody at this stage. So you're weighing something up with this Two of Pentacles, and I think that, that's what's coming through. In terms of your element of earth, we've got the Six of Wands, success, career, victory, in terms of money, health, home. So some really, really fantastic energy coming in with the Six of Wands. This may be the where you're really receiving some sort of accolades or recognition. You might get some kind of successful win, or you might even be receiving some kind of award, but it might be you just successfully managed to get that home that you want, or you successfully managed to get the bank loan or the money that you want, or you successfully managed to overcome something. It's with your health and with your career. There's a lot of success around this, which feels really good. So that's a really nice energy to come through. So overall, we've got the Tower energy, which would say it's going to be very up and down for you guys. You're going to be getting some knowing, some realizations, some sudden realizations, and the Tower energy, some insights that come through, and it can be some unexpected changes that are coming through here. So you might be weighing up something that is coming in terms of the relationship line, or in terms of what's going on inside of your mind. I feel like, if you thought something was going this way, then you might be thinking something totally different. So expect the unexpected with the Tower energy, but I think that with this and the Star card, the Star card brings hope after the Tower. They both one after each other in the tarot deck, and when they're working so closely together, it's kind of like something that you believed is being even a belief about the outside world, something that's going on in the general. You might read something, it could be some kind of journalistic piece, or it's just like, I didn't know that. And it just kind of blows your mind wide open. So there's a sense that there's something that you believed about the wider world that is kind of being, changed in some way. Let's pull a card. We have the Dragonfly and this is just through sheer knowledge. What you said, Pluto, it's a very powerful planet, as you know, it's your ruler, but it also just throws up raw knowledge to you and says, what do you want to do about this? There's no judgment. It's just like, boom. So it shows you something, and it's kind of like, what do you want to do about it? Not sure. Two of Pentacles. I'm a bit ambivalent about it, but very conflicted inside my mind, even though I feel like this is about the future and it feels right. So kind of interesting energy to come through. And that's why it's interesting, as the higher spirit message coming through for you is the dragonfly, which is the element of air. And dragonfly represents messages from spirit coming down to you, Scorpio. So very, very clear messages are coming in, and this could be around 2-year cycles. I feel like your mind's going to be very, very busy. It's a sense of flitting around and just tapping in with how you're feeling about stuff. But I feel like, both your mind and your heart are going to be almost thrown into a different rhythm and a different beat with this, and you have to kind of readjust to this that's coming through. But the dragonfly is definitely saying there's messages from spirit coming in, and they're coming in for your greater good. They're just kind of showing you what wasn't for you or wasn't right for you anymore. And definitely, this feels really good. So that's it, Scorpio. Thanks so much for joining me, and look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Sagittarius. So this is coming in, this energy, in your 8th and 2nd houses. The 8th house is the planet that Pluto rules, the house of sex, death, and transformation. So this is going to potentially be particularly potent on that level. And the 2nd house is around money. So I feel like there could be definitely a sense that are you ready to transform some kind of attitude or belief or something in your life around money? So this is the big question that Pluto may be showing you. There may be some reality checks, some realizations and revelations that come in around that, and some secrets may be revealed around this. It can also be very much to do with your body, your sexuality as well. But yeah, definitely, I think that ultimately it's looking at transforming money. So let's have a look at what's coming in. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, okay, security. So all of these issues come down to the big question of what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel secure, where do you draw that little boundary around yourself, and how have you drawn something that has limited you from being opened up to something else, so more money coming through. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles in the element of fire, your element. So we're looking at security around money, quite literally. Knight of Pentacles in the element of air, the 10 of Wands, element of water, and the 5 of Wands, element of earth. Okay, and at the base, the 10 of Swords. Yes, I feel like you're very much letting go of something, a belief system. You're saying no to something, and perhaps getting a no from the universe as well. But that darkness is lifting here. I feel like you've been kept in the dark, or something has been held in the darkness, and a belief system around that, especially to do with how you were taught about your value and your money and what sort of possessions that you can even own and earn and have. And that is all being transformed. So there's a new dawn, the sun's lifting, and there's a sense of a darkness coming. So just be open to what sort of messages you're getting around that. And again, just be mindful that this energy can make you feel quite vulnerable, and especially as it's affecting your 8th house, it definitely could be going deep into some deep subconscious or even past energies, past life energies. So in your conscious, in your element of fire, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is kind of what you're initiating, what you're wanting to bring in, or what you might be doing, or what you might be working on here, or igniting your passion and getting excited about it. So the 10 of Pentacles can definitely mean security of some sort. So, and definitely to do with money or career of some, and it can represent a legacy as well. So this is something that you might be making some plans and activating changes around, letting go of some ideas, saying, so any kind of no that you get here is going to have a very positive flow-on effect, I would say, to that. So I think that that's something you're going to be working on and wanting to build upon. In terms of your element of air, what you're thinking about your long-term future here, what sort of thoughts or ideas and plans that you might be working on. And the Knight of Pentacles is very much, it's go slow, but plan now and set things in motion so that further down the track, you're going to be okay at bringing in stability further down the track. So you might be thinking even retirement plans, or if you're already retired, it might be, in 10, 20 years' time where you want to be. So This Knight of Pentacles is very much a sense, it's a pragmatic energy looking at taking things slow, but you might be looking at money and budgets and stuff like that and kind of working out with a longer term plan where you want to be managing and how you want to be managing that and feeling good about that, bringing in the stability around that. So that can also be to do with home and health as well, those sort of issues that you're thinking about. In terms of the element of water, how you're feeling or who you're feeling, have feelings for, or, you know, love and relationships, you've got the Ten of Wands. So this is where you definitely could be feeling a bit exhausted and tired. You know, your feelings, I feel like there's nothing more you've got left to give here. You've given a lot to a situation or a person or an energy. It's time to rejuvenate, to rest, to take a break. How much do you take on of other people's energies or emotions, or responsibility for other people's emotions here? How much have you taken on too much of that? Because that's sort of something that you might be shown here by Pluto coming in, and the Cancerian energy around your emotions is saying it may be around reestablishing an emotional boundary around you so that you can replenish and feel good again. So that's really important with the Ten of Wands coming through. Now, in terms of your earth element, the element of what your material needs, what it is that you need to survive, thrive, feel really stable. So it could be money, health, home, work as well. We've got the Five of Wands. There's a sense of there's something is you're wanting to do better. You're wanting to do better, but in that process, you could be exhausting yourself as well. You're wanting better for all of those elements. There could be conflict around this as well. It could be looking at how competitive the arenas are around. So I feel like you could even be looking at, if you're looking at, price guides for things and how much stuff costs in terms of housing, or it could be looking how other people have become successful and what's out there and what your options are, and then, what's right for you. So it's a sense of looking at the market for a lot of these things, or looking at what job opportunities are out there. How can you kind of rise up above the clouds? Not the clouds, rise up above, so that people look at your job application and think, that's the person I want out of the hundreds of others. How is it that you want to get to where so it's kind of just wanting to get to that next level up, and kind of putting a lot of a struggle with that perhaps as well. So yes, the Ten of Swords is very much around letting go of something, a belief system that you had. And I feel like it is very much in that 8th house energy around what it is that you deserve, to have. So it comes down to a lot to what you were taught in terms of your value. So a message from the universe, higher realms messages. We've got 2 horses. We've got, if you count the unicorn as a horse, we've got the unicorn and the horse. Really interesting. And so the horse is very grounded and determined. It's an element of earth here. So trust your intuition with this. Stay determined, stay focused, and you'll get to where your goal. So it's very much a message of that the direction you're going in is right, and to formulate what that is and then stick with it. And then we've also got the unicorn, which is an element of, it's a message coming in from spirit around what's possible. And you may not necessarily even believe this at first. It's kind of like trying to work out what's real and what isn't with the unicorn energy. But there's definitely very high intuitive messages coming in. And this is where you kind of, with the horse energy, it's very practical and pragmatic energy about moving forward, about what is possible. But it's still next to this unicorn energy, where there's still don't let go of that dreaming, that vision that you've got over there, because some of those things definitely could be possible. Work with what's right in front of you now, but still be open to those possibilities. So that's lovely coming in for you, Sagittarius. So that's it. Thanks so much for joining me, and look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Capricorn. So this energy is happening in your 1st and your 7th house. So the house of identity, self-identity, your physical body, your vitality, plus also the house of love and relationships. So let's see what's coming in around that. And I do feel like there's a very strong possibility to be able to personally transform a part of your life. Plus also be aware of your own strength, your own power, and how kind of redefining some boundaries between you and another person or the other, like in terms of a relationship. How much are you responsible for somebody else's happiness? How much are you responsible for all of their emotions? And really understanding that they are actually responsible for that themselves. So I feel like a lot of that's coming in to do with emotional responsibility and sense of identity and reestablishing some boundaries. But I get a very, very potent, powerful personal transformation coming in. We've got the King of Wands coming in. In terms of the fire energy, this is, the master, the boss of what it is that you're doing, you're building at this moment in time. This is what you're initiating. So this is very much in control. I'm the boss. I'm bossing up. So we've got the Knight of Cups for element of air coming in. We've got the Eight of Wands for the element of water, and we've got the Tower, boom, in your element, the element of earth, and at the base, the Hermit energy. Wow. So there's a sense that there's the very dynamic energy here for you, Capricorn, and really like with the Tower energy coming in, this could be unexpected energy, changes, it could be explosive, it could be revelations, it could be realizations. I would say, a lot of this is happening potentially deep down inside yourself. There is a sense of being wise with the decisions that you're making at this moment in time. So, and I feel like you are, because I feel like it just feels like a very, very strong energy, a very like moving from strength to strength, like confident, bold energy. So, in your fire energy, this is what's inspiring you, what you're initiating at this moment of time. The King of Wands, this is wanting to be in a leadership position. This is where you're motivated to do this. If you're already at that level, this is where you're enacting a vision, you're taking action. You can be very creative. It's like you're building things and you're large and in charge here. You're the boss, bossing up. So this is what you're wanting to bring in with his King of Wands energy. And this is very much, this is what I want and this is how I see it happening. So I feel like there's a lot of very clear direction that's being given here or wanting to be given. Plus also, there's a sense of some very clear communication coming through here with this King of Wands, particularly to people around you. I'm kind of getting to a particular relationship because we've got the Eight of Wands here in the element of water, and this is very focused direction. This is how you're feeling. This is love and relationships. And the King of Wands is actually, this in your fire energy, what you're wanting to initiate is a positive new direction or a particular direction that you're wanting to go in. And so this is where you're really, taking charge with this Eight of Wands. So this is where, I think it's really, there's going to be a lot of like clear direction. So in terms of your element of air, what you're thinking about, your thoughts or who you're thinking about, this Knight of Cups could be definitely you're thinking about somebody else, thinking about a relationship here. You're thinking about what your heart is saying, these messages from your heart, the direction that your heart's wanting to go in. And it seems to be a fairly clear direction here. So it's kind of like this channel between the earth, the air and the water's like, I know which way we're going. And then earth is like, boom, you will see this in your concrete reality. You'll see something and it'll be like, okay, now I know what it is. And so the Hermit energy at the base is very much about finding answers deep within. And definitely it can be finding the next couple of steps, maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead, maybe not 4, 5, 6, but it's like we've found the next 2 or 3 and we're going this way. So in terms of what you're thinking, it's very much with this Knight of Cups. It could be actually romantic, it could be quite a romantic or dreamy gesture that's coming in here, or some kind of action that comes through with this Knight of Cups. So I do feel like there's a sense of a vision is forming of what it is that you really want here, and your head and your heart are just really kind of working on this about how to proceed in the best direction, the right direction. So I do feel like there's somebody else that you're deeply considering here, or somebody that you're deeply looking for and trying to manifest. So this is something that's coming through. And in your element of earth, we have the Tower card. So this is your material resources, what it is that you need for security, stability, what it is that you need on that kind of earthly material realm, which related to money, health, home, work. So with the Tower energy and the King of Wands, often the fire and the earth line are very connected in terms of career and work. This could be that there could be something, some kind of, I just keep getting the word explosive, but in a good way. You know, you're about to explode with some kind of passion or direction, or just, you know, this is stepping into your strength and your ability here. You know, this is what I want to be doing. So it's this very, amazing energy that comes through with the Tower card. So, expect the unexpected in those realms. With the Tower, it can bring in unexpected changes to all of those things. But I would say that if that does happen, you're already in this position where you've bossed up and you've kind of, you would be ready for it here, which is fantastic energy coming through. So I kind of get when the Tower card comes in, this is Uranus wanting to free you from something that just wasn't right for you. So if there has been a sudden change in where you're living or working, this is because it just wasn't right. But what you're developing is this leadership and this strength energy, so not to worry too much about it. But I do get when the dust settles, when everything kind of definitely... This could be, it doesn't have to necessarily be like that. Like I said, this could be moments of creative genius coming in or brilliance coming through as well. Like it's just an intuitive knowing, like a flash of insight as well. But when all the dust settles and that has a sense of, okay, now I know what direction I'm heading in, particularly when it comes to partnerships and relationships, take some time out, some distance to kind of really consider what this is with the Hermit energy and just understand, let it process. Give yourself some processing time. So, beautiful. And do you know what? Cancer got exactly the same card. And it's kind of interesting because it is that Cancer Capricorn opposition coming in, the opposite sign, the full moon's in your houses. So this is interesting that you both got this card. And this is the card of unconditional love. This is the message from Spirit, the higher realms sending you a message. And it is all around unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion. This can actually be being in love. So in terms of like, this could be falling in love, this energy here, because the Tower can sometimes be falling in love, and the Eight of Wands is like got a very clear direction about how you're feeling about something or someone. But the Deer is saying amidst all of this energy here, because it feels like there's a lot going on here, in your human realm on a higher level, if you can see all of this through the eyes and the lens of love, or somebody else through the lens of love, it's going to make it such a nicer energy to be going through. And I do feel like there's definitely love here, which is actually really beautiful with this Deer. So this is kind of like a deer in headlights kind of energy, like, oh, I love you. Somebody might even be saying that. The fact that we've got this Eight of Wands, so such clear direction in communication coming in terms of the relationship line. So yeah, very, very nice energy. And I would say express your love simply, cleanly to whoever you want to at this time. But yes, this, if any of these energies become too dynamic and overwhelming, connect up to that higher realm of unconditional love, and this will help you kind of gather your strength. There's a lot of power coming, personal power coming to you. So if you're used to wielding this, then this is good. You'll know what direction to kind of funnel this into, to focus this into. If this is something that you're not used to, this is a case of, again, the Tower energy might actually break apart some interesting beliefs around your own personal power and what it is that you deserve, and also some personal beliefs around security about what's attainable and what's possible here. So that's all coming through as well. But yes, the Deer card is showing you that somebody truly loves you here. There is love for you, whether it's from on the human realm or other realms. And that's the message coming through for you, Capricorn. So this is why I'm seeing a very beautiful, deep transformation here. And we're still in your season. So it is a sense that, you know, the sun is shining bright on you. There are blessings that are coming with this. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Aquarius. Okay, so this energy that's coming in super strong with the full moon and the Pluto opposition is happening in your 6th and 12th houses. The 6th house of daily routines, work, health, and also the 12th house to do with endings, subconscious energy, releasing some of those old things. So Pluto is going to be, you know, in your 12th house here. And I do think it's going to be a lot to do with revealing to you some of your subconscious beliefs around your personal power when it comes to how you respond to those areas of home, health, work, and daily routine. So I do feel like there's a lot happening in your subconscious, which is going to be interesting, particularly also because we have Venus in retrograde there as well. Mercury's in your sign, so there's a lot happening here in your 12th house energy, where it could be a bit of a quieter, more internal energy leading up to your season, because as soon as we hit your season, the sun is shining on you and the blessings and the energy and the vitality are being recharged. So interestingly, we have the World. Speaking of completions, we have the World cards in your element of fire. We have the Knight of Wands in the element of air. So this is around endings and completions and getting really motivated to do that and feeling really positive around that. Let's pull a card for the element of element of water. I do feel like that this could possibly be if you can go into that subconscious realm and travel in there into the underworld, then once it comes out into the light again, you are going to receive some amazing gifts from this. The 8 of Cups. So emotions, love and emotions. The 7 of Swords, your material realm, and at the base, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there is something brewing here. There is something on the material realm that is just a conception, an idea, and it's there. It's the very beginning of it. You're going to hear more about this. So you are going to be, you know, we're transitioning from Capricorn season into your season. So this is where you're going to start seeing this gift that universe is giving you as soon as you hit like around the 21st, 22nd, depending on where you are in the world. And we're stepping into Aquarius season. So in terms of, you know, your element of fire, so this is what you're enacting, initiating, motivated by, inspired by, getting passionate about. This is the World card. So this is very much a sense of completing things, ending cycles, finishing things, freeing yourself from something. And that's very much what that 12th house energy does require of you. So you might even be seeing this in your human world, in your material world, that there's a lot of things, loose ends that you're wanting to tie up. Now, the world might also be that you're thinking about things externally from you. You know, you might be thinking about your world, how the world is looking. You know, it can be that it's a sense that you're maybe thinking about more, like maybe something of greater value that you're looking for here with this world energy as well. And this could be, you know, maybe a big ticket item, you know, a big purchase or something luxurious that you might be thinking about here that's coming through. But yeah, I mean, in terms of your element of air, your element Aquarius, your thoughts, what your plans, what it is, who or what is you're thinking about, your ideas. We've got the Knight of Wands, and this is, you could definitely be thinking about traveling here for some of you, and this could be luxury travel or international travel, like traveling either far away to a different kind of land, or definitely this could be Yeah, but if it is like within closer to home, this is very much an energy of, it needs to be nice. It needs to feel good for you. But this is also around just wanting to go off on the next big adventure. Finish something and I'm off doing something else. And feeling like excited. You could be being quite spontaneous. Some of your ideas might come forward. It could be like a brainstorming energy where it could be like, oh, so much happening. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Or an idea's coming in every left which way because Mercury's in your sign. So very much thinking of a positive future and how to bring and enact positive change for your future. So it's kind of like I want to have closure on something so that I can move forward, which is actually really nice. And interestingly, we see the full moon here, or the moon here with the Eight of Cups in terms of your emotional realm. And this is where I feel like you're feeling things on that subconscious level as well. Not necessarily, there's something deep down connected to this, like a deep root, but you will be feeling this at the same time, where this is walking away from something that hasn't been fulfilling to you. There's just been something missing. You're searching for deeper fulfillment coming in. And this is part of what's been deeply transformed, and in particular related to those things, connection to your body, how your world is operating in terms of your daily routine. Is it boring? Are you spending too much time at home or at work? Or is it just a job that's not fulfilling you? Is it something that you want to be connecting deeper to, what's going on. So this could actually also be a particular relationship. It is around detaching. Doesn't have to necessarily be walking away, but detaching from an energy or a person or a situation that is not fulfilling. Now, this doesn't mean you're leaving the person. It can mean that, but it actually means if you're in a relationship already and there's just something about it, maybe talking about money doesn't make you happy for whatever reason. So, okay, let's agree not to do that. Or let's work out something with our finances so we're not always equally unhappy with each other. Or, if you're single, it might be that there is a sense of the type of person that you've been looking for, or the way you've been, approaching or meeting people. There's something about that cycle that you're just going, this is not doing it for me. This isn't fulfilling me. I actually want something of, however it may be. Maybe it's just been a whole heap of, casual flings or something, and you're looking for something deeper, or vice versa. So, you can apply that to any sort of relationship. But the Eight of Cups, I think, is really good because this, with the World card, is saying with that energy in your 12th house, letting go of some things related to your subconscious, it's releasing some old emotional debris that you don't need anymore, so that you can step out into the world and in your season, when it hits, just go, ta-da, here I am. So in terms of the element of earth, your element, you've got the Seven of Swords, which is actually a very Aquarian energy. So I think you've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So the element of earth is your sense of security, your stability, the things that you need to survive and to feel like you're thriving. And that can be related to health, home, money, career. And I feel like you're kind of like, I'm almost out of here, It's a sense of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yeah, that's been fun, stable. But I feel like your sense of stability has been very deeply questioned within that, and the way that you respond to the external world's been very deeply questioned and transformed. And it's kind of like, I feel like there's not as much attachment to it anymore. It's like you could easily go, look, I don't feel like, I've done my time here and I'm ready to move on. Maybe this is like wanting, again, to go off traveling, or to kind of have a little bit more freedom coming in here, because this is very much moving away from an energy that was very restricted, might have been a lot of rules and regulations or just restrictions. So this is coming up with a plan here about potentially wanting to kind of move, or there maybe just bring in more freedom. So I think there's a lot going on inside your mind here, but just at the base, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. Something is being gifted to you. So this is potentially going to be something that grounds down into a reality, and it's a sense that it feels really solid and real now, whatever this is that you're working on. Because I feel like a lot of this is kind of very much a lot of it is up in the air. You know, it hasn't fully grounded into any kind of substantial reality that you can see in your real world, but you'll start seeing that. So just say you're looking at your daily routines and saying, oh, I'm putting too much time and effort, you know, trying to find that work-life balance, or however it is, I'm putting too much time into that and I want to pare back and maybe only do 3 days or however it is. And it may be an idea, a plan or something you've thought about, and then it's like you start seeing that it is actually this could be really possible. Same with health, home, whatever that is that you're looking for. The universe is gifting you with something that seems like it's solid now. So, and it's a new form of security, but it's not necessarily like how the other signs might need that security. It's more a security in that it's something interesting to you, something unique to you, something that you need, definitely, but it doesn't have to be, you don't want it to be boring and too boring and concrete and solid. It needs to kind of be stimulating you. So we have as the high message from Spirit, we have the beautiful swan coming in, and this is a water element coming in, and it can show that things can appear effortlessly. Like everyone will be like, how the hell did you do that? How did you get this? How did that happen to you? And it may seem like you have been, you know, it just magically appeared, but you've been doing all this work in the 12th house in the subconscious realm, and in terms of past and things to do with karma as well. You've been eliminating and digging and visiting your shadow and transforming things in there. So you've been doing a lot of work here, and that's the thing, is it seems like everything's effortless and easy, but you have actually put in that hard work. So this is going to be reflected back to you. Things are going to start getting easier. There's a sense of relationships being mirrored back to you are going to reflect what you want to see. And there's this sense of harmony coming in on the relationship level, or in to do with creativity and what it is that the journey that you're on at this moment, the emotional journey that you're on at this moment in time with the swan. So it's a very, very beautiful energy, and it definitely is a great energy for relationships, partnerships, and kind of it's got a bit of a twin flamish energy to it as well. So that's it, Aquarius. Looking forward to stepping into your season. So happy birthday if your birthday is just at the very start of the season, and we'll see where next week, what comes of next week. So thanks for joining me, and look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Pisces, George is chiming in for your reading. But so let's see what's coming up for you this week. This energy is occurring in your 5th and 11th house. We've got the 9 of Swords. So there's a lot going on through your mind here at this moment in time. So the 5th house is of pleasure, fun, hobbies, children. It can be related to children. And the 11th house is around the people around you, the greater society, how you might be making money through that as well. So yeah, expression of the world. So I do feel like it's a sense that your enjoyment of the world is being, and how you perceive the world is actually shifting and changing and expanding. So it may be that, it could be that social networks are transformed in some way, that you actually might also get some very clear messages around what feels right for you, or what some of the subconscious patterning is around that as well. And then that will kind of feed back to what actually truly brings you joy and happiness, how you like to enjoy yourself. So yes, it's kind of going to be interesting. We have the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter's coming in. So Jupiter's actually in your sign at this moment, Pisces. So inside your element of air, it's coming in. So that's fantastic. The 9 of Pentacles in terms of love and relationships, element of water, and the moon. It's your card coming in terms of the element of earth. And we also have the Page of Pentacles at the base. Okay, so this might be a very intuitive, emotional time here for you guys. You could be feeling quite sensitive inside your element of fire, the things that you're activating or things that you're kind of find yourself doing, the things that are kind of perhaps sparking your interest and passion. We've got the 9 of Swords, and this is actually where some fears might be triggered. Pluto does bring that. It first response to what Pluto brings to you might be fear. I don't want to do that. So it might be that there's some opportunity that you have to go out and meet new people, or you operate in a different way with a collective or a crowd or a group or the public in some way, you know, the outside world. And this could definitely bring up some kind of stress and fear thinking here, or worry of some sort. So that's kind of where you're being asked to kind of step out of your little comfort zone, where it's like, you know, you've got the things that you like and you enjoy, and now it's like, okay, try something new or connect with different new people. So this is kind of interesting. But we do have that Jupiter's on your side here, you know, the benefic planet of Jupiter in your sign, inside your head, you know, inside the element of air. So it's really expanding. You know, there's an expansion of the mind coming in, expansion of thinking, of understanding ideas and connecting to broader ideas, higher ideals. It could be, you know, all of this. It's like your mind is just fully expanded. And this is kind of what Jupiter's wanting to do, really open your mind to all these other possibilities that are out there, and cultures, connections, things that you could be doing, more that you could be experiencing, and a different way that you could be operating. So it's kind of like giving you a little bit of nudge out of the shadows into the light and going, go out there and explore. And it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to. So I do think, yeah, the initial response might be fear, but then it might be you know, with the Jupiter energy here, it brings good fortune and good luck as well. So it's a benefic kind of planet. If you want to stay in the element of fear and worry, that can also expand that as well. So I think there's a tinge of nervous excitement that comes through with this as well. So we have, in terms of the element of water, love, relationships, who you're thinking about or how you might be feeling. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. So this is feeling like you want to just kind of be, you know, I'm good. I'm happy on my own. I'm happy in my own skin. I'm happy doing my thing here. I kind of know what I like. And the universe is going, pushing a little nudge. You think you know what you like. You want to be in your little, like, you know, your safe little place, happy on your own or happy in your own skin. And the universe is saying time to transform. So this is kind of interesting. The Nine of Pentacles is actually feeling gratitude and feeling abundance as well. So there's a sense that I feel like there's something that's going to be a big opportunity here to kind of open up to the world at large or more. And I think ultimately if you can perceive that with the Wheel of Fortune as something very lucky or something that can really expand your vision and understanding of the world, then there might be this sense of gratitude that's coming in with this Nine of Pentacles. But yeah, it's happy in your own skin, and now it's time to go out and connect with other people, with the collective. So in terms of the element of earth, which is your material needs, your resources, what it is that you need to survive for your world to feel stable, and it can be related to home, health, money and career. So, you know, both of these together can, you know, the career can also be the element of fire as well, work and career. So these two together can represent a little bit of fear coming up. So that's why the moon, we can see the full moon here coming in, and it does illuminate things. It does show you things, but also with the sun next to Pluto, it's showing you things on another level, a deeper level. And it's kind of like, what's going on? And I don't know what's me or what's the collective. I don't know what's happening here. So it can bring in fear and confusion as well with the moon, but it can also bring in some heightened sense of intuition and spirituality that comes through with it as well. So I feel like you're going to be challenged a little bit on that front, Pisces. But in terms of, you know, a sense of having a safe place to be because it's definitely a sense that you're being shown things really clearly now that maybe you didn't, around patterns around the home or patterns to do with money, patterns to do with work. And even though it's kind of like, I probably would have preferred to have not seen that because it can be a bit of a revelation seeing this energy, Jupiter's coming in and saying, if you can get your head around it, then there's an opportunity for this abundance and this good fortune and good luck to come through with it. So yeah, interesting energy coming in for you guys. We also have the Page of Pentacles at the base. So it is saying that there's something on your material realm that's about to, starting off quite small. It might just be an idea or just something that you're wanting to develop. And there's something that's wanting to grow and mature here in that material realm, in the realm of the earth. So there is a sense that a seed has been planted, and the moon energy is showing you where this is, where this wants to develop and grow and mature in terms of your home, your health, and your work. So I think there's messages coming in around those areas, and very strong intuitive messages coming in, and to listen to that. So, but it definitely has the opportunity to expand your world, but take you out of the comfort zone. So let's pull a message from Spirit, the higher realms, and we have the octopus. Okay, so this is kind of interesting, the octopus, and it's an element of water. The octopus it's about something deep coming up here, and the transformational energies of Pluto really does pull things up from the deep. And the octopus energy, you can see its head is like fully alight there. So that's why we're seeing in the element of air that there is so much going on. There's expansion of thought. So this may be, if you're working on something, even if you're writing or something creative, it suddenly could just explode with ideas and visions, and now you know where something's going and you're getting all these downloads around it. So that can also come in with the octopus. The octopus can also represent that you're going to be busy. You're going to have your hands full. There might be some multitasking. The universe is going to be throwing things at you, and you need to be flexible around this, around some of the way that you're feeling about some stuff. And also there's a lot happening in terms of your world, your realm. So yeah, there's a lot going on underneath, deep down. But it is very much a sense of there may actually be people coming out of the woodworks, or new connections coming in. So yeah, it feels very much like that is kind of happening as well, Pisces. So, and just quickly with the octopus energy, that the octopus is saying that there are messages coming from that deep that wants to communicate with you, and for you to be doing something with it as well. So that's coming through with the octopus, and not to fear this, not to fear it. So that's the message, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me, and look forward to seeing you next time.